Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on a movie that I'm not so interested in the movie, but one of the actors in the movie, I want to see if you can recognize him. Smash a like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's The Pineys, books 1 through 14, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Okay, so I'm going to show you the actor. It's not this actor. He's kind of the lead, but it's the actor who plays his dad. All right, so look at his face. All right, you're looking at his face, right? Now, do you recognize him? Because I didn't recognize him at all. I looked at that face and I was like, it's a weird looking face. Is there something going on? Like, as part of the movie, he's wearing a mask or something? Like, I literally thought that. But he plays the dad. And the premise of this movie is this guy falls in love with this hot smoke show who turns out to be some kind of murderer. She killed her former husband, and I think she kills him. And it's weirdly formatted. But that's not the weird part about it. The weird part is this other actor, who is very famous. Do you recognize him yet? There he is again. Like, he looks like he's wearing a mask. When I tell you who it is, I don't know if you'll believe me. I'll give you a hint. He has an accent. He was in a pretty famous movie with Sean Connery. All right? That's a pretty big hint. You give up yet? It's Christopher Lambert. I know. Look at him. He just looks completely different. I never would have guessed that was Christopher Lambert. No way. I haven't seen him in years, but he looks way different in this. Way different. I think he's had a lot of work, there it is, Christopher Lambert. It's him. You don't believe me? There it is. Well, the credits might be lying. So, I just couldn't get over that. Anyhow, what's this movie? First act, this guy falls in love with this total smoke show. Naturally, she's hot. And naturally, he ends up, falling in love with her. But she's a bit odd. First, she doesn't want to move in because she is like super protective of her freedom, she says. And that's right there was a huge red flag. A woman doesn't want to move in. So he starts to find pictures in her apartment of various mutilated animals. She's a photographer, but she finds these pictures, and that's not a good sign. Then he finds a picture of a dead guy, like a human dead guy. And I think she kills him somewhere in the second act. I'm not sure. And then Christopher Lambert takes over for the second act, halfway through, and then the third act, as he becomes the dad who's going to avenge his son. Or they're showing too much of the son, and it's really about Christopher Lambert, maybe. But the way the trailer structure, it feels like the son is in like the majority of the movie, and then the end of the movie is Christopher Lambert. So it's kind of hard to tell. It would make more sense that the first act is he's in love with this woman, finds out she's totally psychotic, she kills him, and then the second act is him trying to prove she's a murderer, and then eventually trying to get revenge, and then getting revenge in the third act. I just can't get over it's Christopher Lambert. He looks way different. His nose looks way different. Like, if you told me he was wearing a bunch of makeup, I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So I can kind of see it's Christopher Lambert, but he's wearing a bunch of makeup to make him look different. And maybe he is, because he looks way different. And so this trailer shows a lot of scenes of the woman walking around on her own. Available on demand and digital June 25th. Rated R for adult situations. but it shows a lot of the woman, like apparently after he disappears or dies, being haunted by him, and then she sees written in her mirror, "It's not over," which is the name of the movie. So it's a bit odd the way they're structured the whole thing. Because is it about him getting killed, or is it about Christopher Lambert getting revenge, or is it a big twist at the end? He's still alive. I don't know. Maybe he's still alive at the end of the movie. Maybe he somehow survived being stabbed and maybe buried by his crazy girlfriend. Now here, that's the most like Christopher Lambert he looks. He looks mostly like Christopher Lambert there. But most of the other shots, he looks like a mob guy. I mean, he's got, yeah, I just never would have guessed it. How old is Christopher Lambert? That's a question. How old is he? See, there he is. Him I recognize. And granted, he's older, but and he's doing like an American kind of thing. Let's see. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. I clicked on Greystoke, which he was in. I want to click on the rest of his bio. 1957. So 57 would be 67 years old? Yeah, 67 I think that would be. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm doing the math correctly. So 67. He was born in Great Neck, Long Island with that accent? Oh, he left the USA when he was 2. Okay. He was assigned. His dad was assigned to Switzerland and the United Nations diplomat, and so he grew up in Geneva. Okay, that's why he has an accent. Interesting. I thought he wasn't from this country, but man, that is crazy. I didn't recognize him at all. Now he looks like a guy from Long Island. Yeah, now he does. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D. and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. If you can find a more bass take, I say, take it. I will be at many places this week. Tomorrow, I'll be at the Greater Elmer Historical Society at 6:30 for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Then on Friday, I'll be at Plagio's Winery in Hamilton at 7 o'clock for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Then on Saturday, I'll be at Village Con in Wading, New Jersey from 10 to 4. And then on Sunday, I'll be at Valari's Lakeside from 11 to 2 for the market. Hope to see you there. We'll see you tomorrow.